Nikola Jokic just led the Denver Nuggets to their first franchise NBA title. Although he finished second in the regular season MVP race, Jokic proved to the world that he is still the best player in the league throughout this postseason. If you ask most NBA fans who the Joker was 6 years ago, many would have no idea who you are talking about. However, Jokic has become known worldwide over the past couple of seasons, constantly breaking NBA records left and right. But how exactly does the 7-footer out of Serbia with a 10-inch vertical come to be one of the best centers the league has ever seen? Let's take a look back at Nikola Jokic's journey from Serbia to a 2-time MVP. Stick around to the end to see exactly how Nikola Jokic became one of the most dominant players in the league. Although he fell short of the MVP award this year, if he had won it for a third year in a row, he would have joined an elite company, being only the 4th player in NBA history to accomplish such a feat. Do you know who the other 3 players are? Stay around and we'll announce the answer at the end of this video. Now, since Jokic came over from Serbia, no one really knew who he was, but that didn't last long as he quickly made a name for himself, constantly embarrassing the world's best players with his unique style of play. But how does a virtually unknown player from Eastern Europe become a 2-time MVP, Finals MVP, and NBA champion? Nikola Jokic was born on February 19, 1995 in Sombor, Serbia. Growing up in a small 2-bedroom apartment in a post-Soviet town with his 2 older brothers, his grandmother, and both of his parents, Jokic really came from humble beginnings. His 2 older brothers, about 10 years older than him, introduced him to the game of basketball at a young age, and he quickly fell in love with it. He began his career playing basketball for a smaller club team in the Adriatic League. His impressive skills with his size caught the attention of numerous European clubs and signed with Megabasket in the summer of 2012. He started off on the junior team, and at the age of 17, he got moved up to the senior team and played 5 games in the Serbian league. By 2013, he earned more minutes on the court and averaged 11.4 points, 6.4 rebounds, and 2.5 assists per game over the course of 25 games in the ABA. He also played in the Serbian league that season as well, averaging similar numbers in every category. Later that year, Jokic declared for the NBA draft. Nikola, aka the Joker, was selected 41st overall by the Denver Nuggets in the 2004 NBA draft. Funny enough, Jokic was asleep back in Serbia when he was drafted. At the time, no one from America knew anything about the Serbian center, but that was bound to change very soon. During the televised draft on ESPN, Jokic was infamously drafted during a Taco Bell commercial, ironically promoting the quesarito when the league's future 2-time MVP was getting called up to the NBA. However, Jokic didn't play in the NBA after he was drafted. He was supposedly supposed to play 1 more year in Europe with Barcelona, but ended up going back to the ABA for 1 last season. Over the course of 24 games, he averaged 15.4 points, followed by 3.5 assists per game. He also led the league in rebounds with 9.3 boards. He was officially named Adriatic League regular season MVP. The Joker and his team went on to get eliminated in the Serbian League semifinals and left to pursue his career that was waiting for him in the NBA. The extra season only solidified even more why he belonged to play with the world's best. During his rookie season with the Denver Nuggets, Jokic continued to prove doubters wrong, earning NBA All-Rookie First Team and finished 3rd in the Rookie of the Year award. His sophomore year, he showed off his all-around abilities with his elite passing and rebounding skills. He had 6 triple-doubles as a center that year and finished 2nd in voting for NBA's Most Improved Player award. By his 3rd NBA season, he had solidified himself as a franchise player for the Denver Nuggets. He dropped a career-high 41 points in a win over the Brooklyn Nets and continued to rack up triple-doubles throughout the course of the season. He eventually went on to break the single-season record for triple-doubles by a Denver Nugget player after getting his 10th. The 2018-2019 season was really when Jokic had his breakout season and made a name for himself in the NBA. Signing a massive 5-year, $148 million max contract extension, he balled out, recording a 35-point triple-double without missing a shot in only the 2nd game of the season, something that had not been done since Wilt Chamberlain back in 1967. Later that year, he recorded his 20th career triple-double at the age of 23, becoming the 3rd youngest player to reach that mark after Magic Johnson and Oscar Robertson. he was selected as an All-Star for the first time in his career. The Joker led the Nuggets to his first playoff appearance, eventually getting eliminated in Game 7 of the second round by the Portland Trail Blazers. The following season, he was named as an All-Star for the second consecutive season. But unfortunately, as we all know, the season was disrupted and led to the infamous NBA bubble. He led the Nuggets throughout the playoffs all the way to the Western Conference Finals, losing to the Lakers, who later took the Larry O'Brien Championship Trophy. In the 2020-2021 season, Jokic won his first MVP award, breaking various records left and right. On February the 6th, Jokic scored a career-high 50 points and became the first center to do so since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar back in the 70s. He also became only the 9th player in NBA history to reach 50 triple-doubles, and more impressively, the second center behind none other than Kareem. He was the third fastest player to reach this feat also. He ended the season being only the third player in history to finish top 5 in total points, rebounds, and assists. He went on to lead the Nuggets to another playoff appearance, again getting eliminated in the Western Conference Finals. After winning the NBA MVP award, he became the first center since Shaq to win it in 2000. He was also the first Serbian player ever and the lowest drafted player at 41st to ever win that honor. And when you thought he couldn't get any better, the Joker went on to win back-to-back MVP awards the next season. That season, he became the first player to ever rack up at least 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, and 500 assists in a single season. He also became the second fastest player to reach 10,000 points, 5,000 rebounds, and 3,000 assists, 1 day shy of tying the record by Larry Bird. Coming into this current 2022-2023 season, Jokic's stock went up exponentially after proving he was the best player in the league 2 seasons in a row. Shortly afterwards, the Nuggets and Jokic agreed to a 5-year, $264 million Supermax contract extension, the richest deal ever done in NBA history. This season, the Joker hasn't slowed down at all. If anything, he continues to improve one season after another. Although his scoring was not as high as the previous season, his playmaking ability was on full display throughout the season, finishing the regular season almost averaging a triple-double. He also surpassed Kareem this season with the most triple-doubles ever by a center in NBA history. The MVP race was neck and neck this season between Joel Embiid and the Joker. Even though Joel took home the award this year, many think Jokic had an MVP-caliber season, playing in what many fans say was his best season yet. The definition of the MVP has been debated by fans and players forever, arguing if it goes to the best scorer on the team or to a more all-around player that helps their team out in ways that the stat box doesn't show. Jokic led the league in player efficiency. He also had the highest shooting percentage at 70.4% while pretty much averaging a triple-double. On top of that, he led his Denver Nuggets to the #1 seed in the Western Conference playoffs for the first time in franchise history. When we look at Jokic and the value he brings to a team, we can look at how the Nuggets play when he's on the bench. The Nuggets fall by over 27 points per 100 possessions. His playoff play this year has proved all the more why he is the best player in the NBA. He became the only player in postseason history to put up multiple 30-point, 20-rebound triple-doubles. On top of that, he joins Wilt Chamberlain as the only players to average a triple-double in back-to-back playoff series, and also became the first center in NBA history to put up at least 500 points and 100 assists in a single postseason run. In the finals, Jokic continued his impressive play, leading the Nuggets to their first NBA championship, beating the Heat 4-1 in the series. It seems every game he plays, he breaks some sort of NBA record, and he continued to do that in the finals. He became the first player in NBA history to lead the entire postseason in points, total rebounds, and assists. He finished his playoff run with 600 total points, 269 rebounds, and 186 assists. He won his first Finals MVP as well, adding to his Hall of Fame resume, and became the first center since Shaq back in 2002 to win the award. On top of that, he also had the most triple-doubles in one postseason run with 10. Looking at the facts, you can make a strong argument that the Joker could have won another MVP. Now, going back to the question earlier, if Jokic were to three-peat, he would have joined only 3 other players to accomplish such a feat. Can you guess who they are? Larry Bird, Wilt Chamberlain, and Bill Russell. Looking back at Jokic's career and MVP caliber seasons, there is no doubt he will be a future Hall of Famer. Arguably the greatest Denver Nuggets player in just 8 seasons and one of the best centers of all time, he has stamped his name in the history books after winning his first NBA title. It will be exciting to see how many accolades the Joker racks up before his jersey hangs in the rafters. Do you think the Denver Nuggets will retire Jokic's number once it's all said and done? Or will they retire Carmelo Anthony's number? Check out this next video.